Hello, welcome everyone. If you want to learn saxophone in a creative way, if you already play saxophone but you want to improve your improvisation skills or learn about improvisation, or even if you are starting from zero, I prepared that lesson for you with a very important topic so you can see already how can you start improvising, practicing your own drill, exploring just three notes. So that's the warm-up lesson to get you ready for the Sax Creative Experience week. Let's start with the lesson of the day. That's the warm-up lesson number 5. So we have almost every weekday live warm-up lessons to get you ready for the Sax Creative Experience week. So now you understand that you don't need every note. Hello Andy, nice to see you here. So you will see that you don't need to learn all the notes of the saxophone. On that warm-up lesson we are going to explore the notes. I can show you. During these days I'm every day talking about timing. We have to develop timing perception, and today we are going to explore a creative way to express yourself using just three notes. How is it possible? I need to learn every note before I can start making music. It's not true. Music is first of all the way we express ourselves through sound, the dimension of time. So exist many rules, many theory that we human beings discover that we can organize sound in very different ways. So because of that we have techniques that become later styles. So we have to follow those techniques to be able to play one specific music style. Right, so I'm going to explain you that even with three notes you don't necessarily have to play an entire style, a traditional style, but you can practice your creativity using just three notes. You see on that lesson. Today we will see why this is not true, why it's not true, why you don't need to play all the notes. So just to recap, every warm-up lesson we have a common objection that's stopping many of potential saxophone players to go ahead, and the objection today is exactly about it. Don't forget to leave your like on this video. Let's engage here. Everyone is welcome to engage. If you have some question, you can ask question during the warm-up lesson. I can answer you with a pleasure. So let's engage here. Everyone welcome. This is one of the warm-up lessons for the Sax Creative Experience Week, which will happen between 11th and 18th August next week. If you are watching live, next week. If you are not registered yet, register for free using the link in the description. So we have a link in the description. If you are using iPhone to watch that lesson, you can go to the description and register if you are not registered yet. So if you are not, or if you are watching on TV, you can scan the QR code and join us and join the WhatsApp group where I'm sending the notifications every day, audios, to get you ready for the Sax Creative Experience Week. So let's talk about the saxophone range. The saxophone has a large range. It can play around 2.5 octaves. Usually, for example, piano has much more. Saxophone, because of that we have alto, tenor, soprano. We have different saxophone families because one is higher, another has a mid frequency, but all the saxophone has around 2.5 octaves. If you don't know what octave mean, I'm going to explain you. Between a major scale, a traditional scale. Tomorrow I'm going to talk more about scale. If you don't know what scale means, tomorrow we have warm-up lesson exclusively to talk about scale. But mainly we have 8 notes to a full range. And the saxophone, we have exactly a full range here in 1 octave. Okay, in 1 octave we have, if you are using all the fingers, full finger, we are playing the C lower. and then we have the C mid frequency. So it is 8. We have 8 notes. C to C we have 8. Okay, so we have another octave, 8 higher. Okay, so we have lower notes, middle notes, higher notes. But you do not need to play the full range to make music. I'm going to explain on that warm-up lesson that you don't need. An octave is when we move from one note to the next note with the same name. For example, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Can you see here? We have 8 notes. It's octave. From C to the next C, lowest C to the mid C, we travel through a complete musical space. It's called an octave. One octave, another octave. Okay, so 2 octaves. Now, what about 12 notes? Between C and the C, we can also find smaller steps. In the UK, we call it semitone. In US, we call it half step. Okay, these smaller steps are called semitones in the UK. In US, half step. Canada, I think, also a half step. So think about ruler. We have centimeter and millimeter. Centimeter, millimeter. So it's a kind of it. We are comparing with measuring the distance. Okay, so but we are measuring the distance of the notes. So we have 12 notes between C and C. Okay, so in one octave we have actually 12 notes. Music also has bigger and smaller steps. Okay, but we don't have to play all these notes. You can reduce the material. A common scale usually uses set notes, the traditional scale. Tomorrow we have a warm-up lesson talking about scales. I'm going to show you very different scales. Most of the scales use 7 notes. A full chromatic use 12 notes. But today we reduce everything to only 3 notes. C, E, and G. Let me play here, C, E, and G. Just an example. Why? Because fewer notes help you focus on rhythm, time, and sound. Especially if you are a beginner. If you are a beginner, we can develop time perception, embouchure, creativity, just using 3 notes. And I'm going to explain how it can be interesting. But for sure, you will develop your embouchure, you can improve your sound, you can become confident, you can already develop time perception. Remember, timing is not something natural. We human beings, it's a not natural skill, it's something that we must develop through consistency, through recognized pattern. So that's something that we have to develop. Everyone, all the musicians, all the professional musicians in history, one moment in their life, stop everything to practice, to start to try to understand how the timing is, the regularity of time. So just playing just few notes. But here I'm going to show you that you can be creative using just 3 notes. You can improvise already. So great music is not quantity. Playing more notes does not automatically make the music better. Music is about rhythm, intention, expression, tone, listening. A simple idea played in time can already sound musical. So I'm going to show you here how can you practice in a creative way. Let's improvise using just 3 notes. How can we do that? Practical setup. We will use the quaternary bar again. So during all the warm-up lessons, I'm talking about the timing. We have to develop timing perception, okay? So quaternary bar is a nice reference. What means quaternary song? We are counting 4 beats. I'm going to show you here, for who is arriving now, I'm going to show you 4 beats. So we have to start in counting it. It's not a natural skill, so especially if you are a beginner, you have to understand that's about beats, regularity. We have to develop that timing perception. Okay, let me play here in 80 BPM. What means 80 BPM here in the middle of the screen? 80 BPM means beats per minute. So if we have 60 beats per minute, it means that we have 60 beats in 1 minute. It's the same time of the clock. But now we are going to accelerate a bit. So it's a 80 beats per minute. That's the speed. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Just recap. It's very important to recap it. So now choose only these 3 notes. You can choose C, E, or G. Okay? We can choose C, E, or G. No more. Can be just C, or just E, or just G. Choose one and let's hold it for 4 beats. 4 beats. C, E, or G. Just to develop timing perception. 4 beats, each note. 1, 2, 3. Now another E. G. Okay? Now you are confident holding the notes, each note for 4 beats on time using your metronome. We can practice now randomly the notes. You can random, but 1 per beat. Let's play randomly. C, E, G, E. C, E, G. But 1 per beat. 1 per beat randomly. Let's do it randomly. 1 per beat. On time. 1 per beat. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so randomly we can play, but 1 per beat. It's another exercise. Let's play randomly. Randomly, C, E, or G, 1 per beat. So instead of the first example, holding for 4 beats, 1 per beat randomly. Why I'm proposing it? Now it's the interesting thing. We are going to add harmony. We are going to add harmony. What means harmony? I'm going to expand here. I will now using a backing track with a C major chord. A chord is a group. What is chord? Is a group of notes played together. C major chord is exactly C, E, and G. So we are going to play in loop the C major in loop. It's still playing on time. One note per beat. 8 BPM, same speed. But when we are adding the chord of C major, it means that we can play C, E, and G. And we will stay in harmony. Why it will stay in harmony? Exactly because the chord of C is the note of C, E, and G played together. So if you are listening that chord, you can play C, E, and G, and you will stay in harmony. So we don't have to play complex harmony for now, especially if you are a beginner. You can play C, E, and G, listening the chord of C. Okay? That is an example. When you play C, E, or G over this backing track, you are playing notes that belong to the chord. It means harmony. Okay? It means harmony. Let me play now using the chords, so you can listen the same exercise playing randomly the notes C, E, G on time, one per beat, but listening the chord. Let's play it, listening the chord. Can you hear? That's the chord. Maybe the volume here is low. Let me just increase the volume of the backing track. So, you are listening C, E, and G play together. So, C, E, and G play together. Those notes at the same time. Because of that, we call harmony. So, when we are playing C, E, and G, we are in harmony. Because the notes behind are also C, G, and E. So because of that, we are playing in harmony. We are playing the notes that fit with the harmony behind. Okay? So you can already develop your improvisation skills using just one chord of C. That's one example, okay? Maybe we have some questions about transposition, because if you are playing tenor saxophone or alto saxophone, can we use the same chord? It's another topic. But for now, I'm going to show you that we can express ourselves, start being creative with a very small skills. We can develop timing perception and explore creativity playing just 3 notes, C, E, and G. Just by understanding time, you know, and we can also explore the symmetry. Remember the symmetry of the previous warm-up lessons. If you are watching for the first time the warm-up lesson, check here in the description. We have a link where you can access all the warm-up lessons so far. That's the warm-up lesson number 5 to get you ready for the Sax Creative Experience Week. In the description, you can access the link with all the warm-up lessons there. Okay, so we are talking about symmetry, develop the timing perception, because it's not a natural skill. It's something that we must develop since the beginning. So that exercise here is a nice way for you to develop listening, timing perception. You have to learn how to count in the beats to play on time. And you already know the concept of harmony. Why is it in harmony? Because we are playing the notes that fit with the other notes played behind. It means chord. You will listen a lot about it during the Sax Creative Experience Week. Because of that, I'm trying to get you ready. If you have some question, just ask me, because that's the moment we have to be ready. You are learning how to listen music as musician, because saxophone is a musical instrument. Music is a language. We have to learn that language and express ourselves musically through that amazing instrument. Okay? So that's it. What you are developing by playing that exercise with only 3 notes, you are developing rhythm perception, timing, embouchure, your tone, airflow, tone, listening, creative choice. So nobody is born with perfect time. Nobody is born with rhythm perception, timing, embouchure, airflow, tone, listening, creative choice inside music, especially because music is a language. You have to learn the techniques. Okay, we have to, but you can be creative with just something, just you know. Meanwhile, you are understanding, you can adapt. You can add more complexity to your practice. So musicians develop these skills through repetition, mistakes, and consistency. That's the important thing, consistency. Okay, so revision, what you learn on that warm-up lesson. You do not need every note to begin. The saxophone has low, middle, and high sounds, so we have a lot of notes. We don't need to play all the notes. An octave goes from one note to the next note with the same name. We're going to explore in the next warm-up lesson tomorrow, live, talking more about scales. It's very interesting. 12 notes exist in the full chromatic space. Today, 3 notes are enough. C, E, and G. You can play just C, or just E, or G, or you can play randomly C, E, and G to develop timing, to develop everything you need: timing, tone, embouchure. Rhythm and timing make simple notes musical. Challenge: set the metronome to 8 BPM. That's a challenge. Practice if you can. If you have your saxophone, if you already can play those notes here, play 1 per beat. Set up your metronome, set the metronome to 8 BPM, and play C, E, G, 1 note per beat, 4 bar. The same. That same exercise here. That's the challenge. 8 BPM. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's the challenge. Set your metronome to 8 BPM and play 1 per beat. 1 per beat, exactly per beat. So you are already developing everything here. You are developing rhythm perception, timing, embouchure, airflow, tone, listening, creative choice. Okay, nobody is born with perfect timing. So that's the start simple, stay in time. Okay, that is the tip for you. So we are exploring different concepts every warm-up lesson. I'm trying to add slow, step by step, so you can observe much better the contents. Just remember, you have in the description of this video a playlist with all the warm-up lesson. Don't forget to review if you have time to review it. It's very important, everything, to get ready for the Sax Creative Experience Week, so you can observe much more the contents during the week. Okay, and it's time for question. If you have some question, just let me know right here. Meanwhile, I can play again the exercise here, playing with just improvising using C, E, and G with the backing track. Write some question you may have. Meanwhile, I'm improvising just 3 notes. Tap here, it's the moment. Ask me everything you want about that lesson, about the Sax Creative Experience Week, so I can answer you. Just let me play here again. try to play it the same chord, 3 notes in another rhythm. Let me play it in jazz, something in jazz. Let me play it in jazz. That's it, just improvising using 3 notes. You see it during the Sax Creative Experience Week, much clear. I'm going to explain everything and get you ready for the universe of the sax improvisation, and step by step you can understand how music works, okay? So that was our warm-up lesson. I think we don't have any question for now. Any question? No? Any question for now? Okay, so we are here tomorrow again talking about scales. I'm going to explore scale, the concept of scales, what scale mean. A lot of people talk about scale. Can we play scale? A lot of people, especially who already play saxophone, are learning saxophone, are practicing drills forever, like playing scales up and down and then articulation. But what's the purpose of scales in a creativity way? I'm going to explore here the next warm-up lesson what means scale in a creative way. How can you understand the meaning of the scales? Why scales exist? Why it must be a tool for your creativity instead of a drill, practicing drills, scales up and down articulation, because most of people are stuck on it, just practicing scales. And the one scale, I'm going to show you that exists very different scales, and why it exists, okay? So it can clarify a lot, and we are going to develop our ear or listening, because we are becoming musician. You have to understand how we create music. Why some specific styles are considered one specific style. Why rock is considered rock. Why reggae is considered reggae. Why Latin songs is considered Latin. And each styles are considered a specific style because follow maybe one specific scales, follow a specific rhythm pattern. Okay, so you can understand it much easier, and by understanding it, it can support you a lot on your creativity, on your improvisation skills, and you can become a complete, not just saxophone player, but a musician. Saxophone is just an instrument where you express yourself musically. So I'm here to support your understanding and your creativity first of all, okay? So see you tomorrow for our next warm-up lesson. Don't forget to leave here your like, and if you want to review all the warm-up lessons so far, check here in the description of this video. You have the link with all the warm-up lessons so far, okay? See you tomorrow.